Welcome to another episode of the Fanzone podcast, your home for all things Bolton Wanderers, up the Trotters, the Northwest's #1 podcast.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back to another episode of the Fanzone podcast. It is, of course, a post-match show this evening, which means one thing. This evening's show is sponsored by Loving My Socials, and if you want to find out any more about our headline sponsors for this season, or indeed the preview show sponsor for this season, then if you head over to our website, www.fanzonepod.co.uk, you can do exactly that. But we join you on a fine Sunday evening following Bolton's 3-2 win against Barnsley at home. Safe to say a game of two halves. I think hearts were definitely in mouths at some points yesterday afternoon. But here we are to discuss all things Barnsley, joined by Ange, Dan and myself this evening. Ange, how are you?
I am well, thank you. Getting kind of used to 3-point pods. No bad thing, but a little bit bizarre. But yeah, I'm good, thanks. Been out into Manchester today. Managed to get back in time, just about to get on the pod. Thank you. How are you, Ben?
I am very well, thank you, very well. It is an absolute delight to be back in sunshiny England with the glorious weather that is home to the UK.
Fingers crossed, everybody, that Ben does not break out into some sort of travel-related vlog, cooking show, any of the
everything.
stuff.
I'm a man of many talents, Ange. I'm a diverse content creator. That's what I am. I can't see myself making it in any of those regimes. The cooking one, definitely not. I think I can leave that one. Park that one. Dan, how are you?
Good, mate. Thanks. Just about recovering from yesterday's emotional roller coaster. We had a good day. We had a good few beers. Today's been a nice chilled one, family time, etc. And looking forward to getting stuck into another 3-point pod, which is becoming a bit of an occurrence, isn't it? And quite a welcome one at that.
Yeah, it's a nice little habit we've got ourselves into, it seems. 3-point podcasts. I can get used to this. Before I went away, it wasn't quite the trend, but yeah, seems to be a common occurrence at least, which is nice. But we'll get stuck in straight into this evening's show. It is, of course, time for post-match reactions. Right then, post-match reactions. Let's have your one-word reviews in the chat, please, folks. We'll put some of them on screen. And we'll hand over to you first. Talk us through both of those halves. Obviously, very different stories, but talk us through your thoughts.
I mean, it was the perfect first half, pretty much, wasn't it? It was lovely. It was lovely. A couple of chances that we didn't put away, but it didn't matter because we scored 3. So, which is, I went down to halftime very unstressed, very in a very jovial mood. I thought the boys played really well. The tempo is so much better. The getting up of the pitch, the throwing going forward rather than. So the last time, me and the lady who sits in front of me, count every single throw-in we took went backwards. Every single throw-in went back and eventually back to keeper. Anyway, so positive, so quick, so much better. Lovely, joy to watch, an absolute joy to watch. Yeah, and then the second half happened. It was all a bit stressful. It's all a bit more like being a Bolton fan again, wasn't it? And I did worry for us a little bit because those goals came in really quick succession, didn't they? Granted, the first one was a deflection, wasn't it? The Luca's goal was a deflected.
It came off Toll's big toe.
Yeah. But yeah, I did think, oh God, here we go again. But no, we kind of knuckled down and ground out a result, and we did what we need to do at this business end of the season, and that is getting 3 more points on the board, because the minute we stop, they're going to be at us. They're going to come for us. We need to keep in touch with Lincoln. God, I'm already dreading Saturday. But anyway, yeah, let's think about that later in the week. But yeah, a little bit. I was going to save this actually for my down, so I'm not going to talk about it. But yeah, there was a little bit of there was a down in the match that I'm going to use as my down for 3 up, 3 down. But yeah, I thought they all, pretty much everybody, played a blinder, and Mr. McAtee couldn't be happier. Could not be happier for a little John, because he's grafted his balls off for the last couple of weeks, and he deserves that goal. And I knew he'd get it against his old club. They do, don't they? They always seem to, when they need one, they'll get one against an old club. So yeah, I was buzzing for him.
Yeah, goals against former clubs were a popular one in yesterday's fixture. Obviously, Luke O'Connell getting his. Didn't celebrate, which I thought was a nice touch. McAtee, safe to say, he was over the moon to get his goal, and he made full note of celebrating. Dan, 2 goals in 3 minutes. What were your thoughts at the end of the match, and are they different now you've had a bit of time to think about it?
At the end of the match, obviously, we were hanging on for parts in that second half, and it became a contest that it should never have been, if we're being honest, especially after that first half. I think 3 points, again, is just what it's all about. Like you said, Ange, it's a time of season where I'm not really asked how we play. If we win, we win, and I'm buzzing with that. But that first half was absolutely electric. That's as good as I've seen us in a good while in an attacking sense. And to be fair, it wasn't dissimilar to how we played the first half against Wimbledon. We just ended up getting our goals this time that we deserved. And really, it should have been 5 or 6, if we're being honest. But I'm not complaining at that. I thought we were just so good going forward. Exactly what you want to see in a home team. You want to start fast. You want to be on the front foot. The winger, Blackett Taylor in particular, that first half, he was just unplayable on that side. He's quite a big lad as well for a winger, but he's rapid. The amount of times he just skinned his man. And obviously we'll go on to Dalby, but he's just continuing some absolutely unreal play at the minute and form that he's in. Proper centre forwards play. I can't get my words out. Proper centre forwards performance. Second half, obviously, they were never going to be as bad as they were in that first half. I didn't expect them to come out like they did, and I think you've got to give a bit of credit to them, because he made 4 changes at half time, and they worked. They exposed us at times. They changed formation. They got in. They got a few good crosses in. Luckily, we've got a decent keeper who can make saves.
A great save right at the end.
Yeah, where he clawed it away at the bottom corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously Luke O'Connell, it was just pure luck, wasn't it? There's nothing you can really do about that. I thought for Phillips' goal, we didn't clear our lines, and I just felt we were really slow getting out to close him down. There were 3 of our lads around him. I think Dempsey might have looked at that and think he may have got out a little bit quicker to it. But again, it's second half, even though we were under Kosh a little bit more, they were fortunate, weren't they? The goalkeepers clearly handled it outside the box, and as well, it looks like there's a decent shape for a penalty in there.
Those officials, man.
Yeah, they're terrible, and we should be used to it, shouldn't we? Because we get them every week, really. Luckily, it's not affected the result, and again, it shows a bit of our character, like we did at Wimbledon. We're not quite putting in 90 minutes worth of top performance, but if we're doing half a game playing like that and getting goals and showing a bit of resilience when we're under the cosh, that's all you're going to want from your team, I think, at the minute. And especially coming off the performances over Christmas period. I'm not going to keep harping on about them, but because it's gone. But that second half, it just shows you, I think, what them two wingers in particular, and Apter was a little bit quiet, but they've brought some energy to the team, much needed energy. And I'll say now, that left side position, that's Blackett Taylor's 100%. There is no danger of him losing that based on a substitution that I think we all saw. I don't want to dig players out, but it weren't great. But yeah, 3 points, mate. That's all you can get, innit? 3 points, but we'll take it. We keep winning. Obviously, we're a massive game on Saturday, but it's better to be looking up than looking behind you, innit?
It is, yeah. I mean, Blackett Taylor has been really good since he came in. Obviously, he got his goal and took it well on his debut. But I think it's been refreshing. It's like Sissoko has got talent 1-on-1, and that much is clear to see. And Gale is fast, he's direct, and Blackett Taylor feels like a really nice mixture of both of those. He's got the ability to beat a man, but he's not afraid to drive. He's balls into the box. I think that's the standout for me, was the delivery of balls into the box yesterday in that first half was absolutely exceptional. Obviously, Dempsey's cross for the first one was great. Dalby, it was a really clever pass back across goal to slot in McAtee, and I thought that's the difference. And I mean, we've said it for a while with Dalby that if you get the ball in the right spot, he's going to be there. And so to see the wide players contributing in that sense, I think is really, really, really promising, and something that's been seriously lacking for Wanderers so far this season. I mean, we could talk about the officials forever and a day. There's been quite a few comments about them. Brandon said, I can't believe the handball outside the box. It wasn't even like it was close. You could see from the top of Rivington that he ran out of the box. It is astonishing. And I mean, we've had games where we've had poor refereeing performances, and we say, usually when we lose, that, you can't blame the officials for teams losing football matches. And I think yesterday, if we had somehow lost that football match, there'd have been a good case to prove that the standard of officiating is just absolutely beyond poor. But Dan, I agree with what you said in terms of character and resilience. It was a good statement, I think, from the lads that they have got that grit and that bit between the teeth to grind out results. And I actually said when I was on Red All Over's show, the away end, that when you look at Plymouth under Schumacher when they won the league, they never really looked like world beaters. I remember them coming to our place and I didn't think they were very good at all, but they just had something about them that meant they ground out football matches and they got results. And it feels like that's probably what we're seeing now with Schumacher. You don't have to be, the prettiest looking team, which certain managers seem to favour more than others, but it's just about winning football matches. We've had another one in the chat from Josh again about the officials should reduce their pay mark. Shocking, some of the decisions they make. And I'm sure if we wanted to, we could probably do a podcast just talking about officials.
Someone should. Do you know what? Somebody should do a pod on terrible EFL officials. They should. I mean, it'd go on for days, but they should, because it's a fucking joke, an actual joke. And it's throughout the leagues. It's not just us, but it's something has to be done. I mean, do I want what's just happened in the Liverpool City match with VAR? And not really. But I also would like a little bit of a better calibre of official. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Certainly would be nice, wouldn't it? I'm not sure throughout the match whether I do more shouting at the players or the officials. Sometimes it's a tough contest between the two. We'll hand over and we'll do the next segment. We won't hand over, I'll do it, but we'll do Fanzone Man of the Match.
If you aren't guessed, Ben's a bit rusty.
Yeah, this is my first post-match show. I've done a preview show and that went quite smoothly. But 3 pods in 4 days, I think I'm all podded out. But Fanzone Man.
Whoa! You do not be coming all podded out to us. We've literally just held the fort.
I know.
The busiest 4 weeks in the football calendar, mate. No chance. Anyway,
someone might have to say something about that. I think it's going to be a tough contest this week. There's a couple of choices. There's two obviously standouts. I'm sure we'll hear from both of you on at least one of those. Ange, who gets your vote?
I have three. I don't know why I just shouted that, but I have three.
One of you.
I know. And I'm going to go in reverse order, okay? So my third is Mr. Bonham, because really good save early on to settle the nerves. Got the crowd going. I think that helped with the whole atmosphere. Atmosphere was much better yesterday, everyone. Well done.
It's because I was back.
My second is lovely John, because I root for the lad every week. Come on, I really do. But you've got to 2 goals and assist, 2 goals and an assist, and growing into a player which we all hoped we'd get and absolutely have got now. He's first name on the team sheet at the minute. Absolutely, Mr. Sam Dalby.
A very, very solid choice. Dan, I'm sure you're probably going to echo much of what Andrew's just said, but talk us through your Fanzone man of the match.
Yeah, it's Dalby is the short answer. You can't argue with 2 goals and an assist, can you? But I think you've got to give mentions, like people in the chat have done. Bonham, safe pair of hands, 2 really good saves when we needed him. We're not just conceding, every shot that goes in anymore. So that's quite nice. Maka really, really deserved that goal. I don't think anyone deserved the goal more than him for what effort he's put into his game in last few matches. And it's really nice to see him scoring, because I don't think anyone can doubt his talent and his work rate. It's just nice to see him get some of the numbers that count as well on the end of it. I thought Dempsey, suddenly, we were saying it a few months ago when Cyrus Christie whipped a couple of decent corners in. Dempsey's got 2 assists off corners as well, absolutely rifling him into the back post. I didn't know he had that in his locker. We've had him for, 3 or 4 years, Dempsey. I think in absolutely quality deliveries then. And all of a sudden, we look like Arsenal on corners, don't we? We've been pretty bad at them recently, but them yesterday were absolutely spot on.
Sorry, Dan, I'm just looking at Bonham.
No, it's all right. Yeah,
brilliant, Carol.
Yeah, that is good. Listen, it's Dalby, but I thought there were a few shout-outs. Dempsey as well, playing a bit deeper than he has been recently. I thought he looked really good there. Getting
just
about
got
the
to watch him on a yellow, aren't you? Can't quite, because he's so bloody. As soon as he gets that yellow, you're like, I'm on edge.
Yeah, but
he's gonna have to get over and hook him.
Yeah, I think the thing is with him, you're going to accept that because of the amount of work he puts in and the energy he has and the intensity which he tries and gets the ball back for you. It's like Errahon as well. But yeah, Sam Dalby, what a run of form he's in. And I'm so happy that he's proving everybody wrong who were slating him earlier on in the season. And he's 9 goals now for us.
Top scorer.
So, again, what a focal point as part of your team, and that kind of striker, you don't see him too much anymore, do you? Because the game changes and that, but you just show how effective they are. And he's going to, again, I hope he stays fit. He's going to have a massive part to play in this running, especially when we go away from home, I think, on get some of these horrible teams who aren't going to let you knock it about all nicely, and you have to go a bit more direct at times. But yeah, he was brilliant. Sam Dalby.
Yeah, Sam, I think you play to his strengths and he'll show you what he's capable of. His hold-up play is absolutely exceptional. He's got a lot of strength to his game, but that one in particular, his hold-up play and ability to bring other players in. And when you've got really direct players like Blackett Taylor and Rob Apter, I thought was nice and direct and quick and sharp. When you've got players like that around him, a striker like Dalby can be really effective. And I thought Maka as well complemented him absolutely perfectly. I think that 10 role, we spoke about it as a point of contention for quite a while on the pod, but I think that in terms of what you need from a 10 when you're playing a striker like Dalby, Maka was exactly that. His runs in behind were exceptional. His supportive play was top class, and he got the goal, which I think he thoroughly deserved. It doesn't really matter what I say here for my man of the match. Dalby's got it, but it's a full house, Sam Dalby. I thought he was excellent. And I also wanted to give a special mention to Dempsey as well. Obviously, his set-piece delivery was excellent, but that intensity that he gives you in the midfield, it's been nice to see him playing that deeper role and not look out of place at all. Obviously, we're more used to seeing him a bit further up the pitch in that 10 spot, but I think he's took on that role as a deeper midfielder really, really well. Is a tough side to break into. Obviously, we had Josh Sheehan, who we've sort of talked as a someone who can't be taken out of that squad, but we haven't really looked that bad without him, especially in that midfield.
Can you imagine us?
We could have done with him yesterday, second half, I think.
Definitely.
Second half, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. We're a different beast with Joshua in that part.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's the type of player in that scenario you can just trust to give the ball and he'll look after it for a bit when you've got the pressure on. We're nice to see Bonham go down, by the way, with an injury. I don't know if I've seen us do that this season.
They needed a minute. They needed a minute, didn't they?
They did need absolutely. Yeah. I mean, teams have done it to us all season. It's only fair, isn't it? But what I will say on McAtee is he's showing himself now to be the perfect foil for Dalby in that I hate number 10 because we've done it so much. But when you had like a Randall in there and he's like probing and passing, that's no good with Sam Dalby up top. Get running beyond him. And that's where you're going to get a lot of joy out of him. So I think for me, that's going to be the partnership, at least until you like Sir Rodriguez and that Johnny Kenny get fit. But yeah, really good to see and keeping it simple in terms of just getting on the end of everything he won because he's just magnificent again. Brilliant.
I think there is definitely something to be said about the quality that's been brought in January. I can see having a real positive impact on the squad in terms of raising players' games. McAtee is obviously someone that's been in and out of the squad and not had a nailed-on spot. And it seems like with the bringing in Johnny Kenny, who I imagine will probably play a bit further forward, but also Ruben Rodriguez, that squad is really, really competitive and everyone will have to be at the top of their games if they want to keep hold of their place. I think Kyle Dempsey has been an example of that, in Sheehan's absence. So it's been really, really good to see everyone's look like they're raising their game and wanting to keep their spot.
I'm really confused why there's any chatter about Keanu Tete in that chat. What is going on? I've missed. There's quite a few comments coming, so I missed it. I was like, "Why is Keanu Tete being mentioned in our chat today?"
He might be watching.
I think it might. Be a tongue-in-cheek comparison.
I'm very much hoping so, because WTF if not.
Especially in the Fanzone Man of the Match segment, that's one where I didn't expect him to be coming up very much.
Certainly Matt. Is that where we're still at by the match?
Somehow, yeah. I mean, we've 23 minutes in, and we've hardly scratched the surface of anything else. Right, there you are. Then Sam Dalby is your Fanzone Man of the Match, ladies and gents. You got plenty of votes in the chat as well. So yeah, well done, Sam. I'm sure you're watching at home, spending your Sunday evening tuned in. So congratulations, my friend. Right. Next segment, we'll hand over to our resident stat man for what I'm hoping to be the most energetic review of a football match ever. Maybe what we'll do is after that United fans cut his hair, we'll get Callum to do it for Bolton, and he just won't cut his hair until we win 5 matches in a row.
We've only got one left. We've just
one more, mate.
Well,
obviously we're going to go to Lincoln and win. That's
Callum, you'll be getting a haircut next week, mate. Congrats. Right, Gaffer's notebook.
Then you need to press the button.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Gaffer's Notebook with the Statman, and today we're of course going to review the very impressive 3-2 win against Barnsley this weekend, and that is a big, big win, isn't it? Of course, we said in the preview, you haven't actually beaten Barnsley at home since you were in the Championship, and I'm pretty sure it was in 2017. So that was quite a while ago, but it was a good performance, especially attacking-wise. We'll come on to the defensive stuff in a second because I've got a lot to say, so I better get on with this quickly. Attacking-wise, though, you had 23 shots and created 4 big chances, which is a big well done. You did miss 2 of those big chances, but still creating 4 is pretty mega in the first place. Obviously, 2 of them were from corners as well. So hats off to the set piece man. because that worked very well. The first one was a bit like England in the World Cup in 2018. It was like the train. Dolby went back post and he was unmarked because there was about 4 other people around him. And yes, he still went back post for the second one, but it wasn't quite the same thing. One more thing to say before we get on to the interesting stuff is I was very impressed with Mr. Blackett-Taylor yet again. I reckon he's probably gone a bit under the radar in this game because he obviously didn't score. But he completed the most dribbles of anyone on the pitch with 3, which I feel like is a stat I'm going to say quite a lot this season. He had 2 shots on target as well, and he had 9 touches in the opposition's box. But I just like the way he plays football because he stays wide and then he gets the ball and he goes, right, I'm beating the fullback. I'm going to get past him. And it's all, yes, he doesn't always do it, but he has a go. And that is proper football, proper wide player, proper wing play. We love to see it. But again, the thing I want to talk about mainly is your out of possession shape. And I can hear all the chat going, come on. We love the press. And I'm joking, of course. But still, this is quite important stuff. So, the main pressing structure for the game was a man-for-man approach, which just means everyone marks their own man. There's no zonal, insert non-PG word there. But yeah, you just stick with your man. If you're playing left wing, you're marking the right back. If you're playing right wing, you're marking the left back, etc. And it worked because you actually scored a goal from it. So the Barnsley keeper took a goal kick and Toll is on one of the Barnsley forwards who drops off to win the header. Toll follows him. Yes, that is what you should do, but it's not what every centre-back does because they're quite scared to go into midfield. He does follow him and he wins the header. Fair play. Then Apter is trying to get the ball, but he's not exactly blessed with height, is he? He tries to flick it on. It falls to the Barnsley man. But this is where it works. Because it's about to fall to the Barnsley man. Dolby is chasing him down because that's his man. Apter has pushed on to the fullback because that's his man. McAtee is in the middle, marking their defensive midfielder because that's his man. So he's got nowhere to go apart from backwards. And for some reason, he doesn't trust the keeper. So he didn't do that. He cleared it long. Except he didn't clear it long because he didn't kick the ball very well. So Apter brought it down, played it to Dolby, who cut it back. McAtee, 3-0. So it works very, very well. It can give you a good advantage if you win the ball back because you can counter straight away. Because you imagine you've won the ball while you're pressing. You're immediately past that man. So someone else has got to come over, which creates a spare man for you. So yes, that does work quite well. However, it doesn't always work, as we saw with their first goal, because the ball started out wide. And when it worked its way back into the middle, it was still man for man, even though you're quite deep, which is a bit... And anyway, there's a spare man on the edge of the box, which happens to be one of their deeper midfielders, and nobody's followed him. It's probably the job of McAtee or Dolby. You'd say probably not Dolby, but I actually think he started deeper, so maybe it was. Either way, someone's got to follow him. You can't let him be open. And yes, the shot was a big deflection. But if you're playing this man-for-man system, you've got to track your man, because the whole point is that you can be trusted to do your defensive duties. Now, I almost think you need a bit of a backup plan if you're playing a man-for-man system, because let's be honest, after about an hour of just following someone around the football pitch, you're going to be a bit tired, aren't you? So, I think towards the end of the game, you've got to drop into a bit of a 4-4-2 mid-block, and yes, I've said this quite a lot, but we'll see it on the screen now. So you obviously start in a 4-2-3-1 approach, and all that happens is that your striker is going to drop in alongside your attacking midfielder and your wingers are going to move back. And then you can be ready. If the ball moves over to the left side, as you can see, everybody shifts over. And yes, you leave yourself vulnerable to the switch, but how many players in League One can switch the ball 100 times out of 100? Not many. And even then, it's not going to be rapid, is it? And the same thing happens on the right, as you can see there as well. So you've just got to be ready. And that 4-4-2 mid-block, it makes them use the ball. You are not responsible for chasing every single ball, which you are for a man-for-man approach. And I don't mind the man-for-man. Listen, blooming Bielsa had great success with it at Leeds, didn't he? But you can see it in their games as well. They were absolutely knackered by the end of the game. So you've got to have a bit of a backup plan. For me, that's what I'd do anyway. That's my advice. Either way, I was quite impressed with it because it worked. I just think it's not going to work for a full 90 minutes. So there's my point. Either way, fair play, massive win. And I'm sure I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.
Now we'll have less of the Harry Potter Hogwarts chat in the live chat, please. And you're on mute. Sorry, mate. I just did a spell and muted you.
You're literally doing your witchcraft and wizardry on me. No, it's good. It's really funny. I like it.
I'm glad you like it.
Streamy or podcasty or.
Yeah, let's just all take piss out of Ange and then I can go, oh, it's all right. It's funny.
I mean, I don't know. Is it because I don't know? Is it just the hair? I don't know.
I'm going bald next week.
Is it the light?
Join us. Join me and Colin. Oh no, he's not quite there yet, is he?
But he's not
He's
far
not
off.
far.
No.
It wouldn't even need a spell to make him go bald, just a strong gust. Anyway, this is just absolutely mental. A Hufflepuff extra. It's not even like I've been put in a good house or anything. Just
Hufflepuffs are nice.
Oh, are they?
They're just a bit meh, aren't they?
Oh yeah, class. I've worked my whole life just to get to a point where I can go, I'm just a bit meh.
Just a bit of meh.
Anyway, this is a good point. All goes quiet in the chat when the Statman is on. Everyone's paying attention. I like that.
Yep.
Statman segments are always interesting. Interesting there with the visual as well of what a 4-4-2 mid block. I didn't think I'd hear the word mid block. So I've just expelliarmused Ange, so she's off. She's been booted off. Didn't expect to hear the word mid block come from the Statman when talking about us, but I can't say as I'm entirely opposed to it. I think that point you made about playing man for man, being really physically demanding, is a good one, especially in League One. I mean, Maka, I don't know quite now which man he was on, but he seemed to be just running about after everybody. So yeah, I think that's an interesting one. So we'll see how that develops. I'm sure Schumacher will have some plans based on that second half about how he wants to tighten things up when the going gets tough and when perhaps teams make changes. I thought we were just a little bit slow to respond to Barnsley's change in shape.
We were.
Yeah. Peter, I'm going to have to ban you in a minute. I can't be having this. I've just come back from holiday. This is not what I need.
It's exactly what you need. Brings you back down to earth with a bang.
Yeah,
apologies for the fact that Virgin Media is an utter piece of shit as well and just keeps chucking me out. So it chucked me out when the Statman was on and it just chucked me out again. So if I go again, then I do apologise. It's not me, 'tis the Wi-Fi.
Joke's on you thinking it's Virgin and not me having
you and your wizardry.
Yeah. I was actually looking. It's not gonna help my cause. But my girlfriend had a witch's hat for Halloween that I was trying to find in the wardrobe. But when I get back, when I'm at my house, I will show you all my assortment of Harry Potter memorabilia.
He's got multiple wands, people. So if you're talking about Harry Potter,
with wands from Harry Potter, I'm not bringing not right.
I'll give that a pass if you don't mind.
Anyway, let's move on, shall we? It's 3 up, 3 down. Sounds like a Patreon special, that Ben's wand collection. Anyway. Right, 3 up, 3 down. Let's have nice one, Brandon. You're getting banned.
He's green. You can't get banned. He's green.
Let's have your up, please.
My up, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. So my up was the fact that we were very fortunate enough to go in a hospitality suite yesterday. First time in my life I've ever been in one. It's not a regular occurrence, I can assure you. And it was fantastic. It was all to do with my son's football club who he plays for, which is Adlington Juniors Football Club. I think they've got maybe 20 odd teams going, all completely grassroots football from like under 6s, under 7s upwards to whatever age it caps at. And basically they did a fundraiser for Macmillan a few weeks ago, and the the hospitality box was one of the prizes that people bid for, like an auction. So fantastic for a fantastic cause, obviously, Macmillan. I'm sure everyone's aware of the good work that they do, and just brilliant because Adlington Football Club is completely run by volunteers, as you know. With grassroots football, it's only a small village. But every Saturday, you're seeing loads of teams there. It's all run by people who are giving up the free time purely because they've got such a love for the game. And I know for a fact how much I appreciate my lad going there. He started there last year and he's come on leaps and bounds. And in a time in football where everything seems to be sorted around like money and things like that, it's refreshing to see people who just have a genuine love for the game putting it back out there and trying to like inspire and coach the next generation to catch the bug, really, like we've all done at some point in our life. So absolutely brilliant day. They really looked after us there, and obviously there were four of the kids who'd come with the parents as well, and they just had a ball. Seeing them enjoy that, especially where we were sat, we were basically above, like the crazy corner right above it. So the lads were just absolutely made up, seeing all the goals go in and whatnot, and they may or may not have been making a few hand gestures at the away fans at some point, which obviously we won't tell the mums about, but yeah, it might have happened. Brilliant day, and big thank you to Adlington Juniors for the opportunity and Macmillan for the unbelievable work that they do. So yeah, that's my up.
Yeah, indeed. I grew up in Adlington and I used to play for Adlington Dynamos. I was their number 10. And it all went wrong.
I used to be on the committee of Adlington Juniors Football Club.
There we are.
For them. We played for Panthers. So yes, we've all got a connection to Adlington Juniors, even though I don't live in Adlington. So yeah, we do work very bloody hard. I can tell you firsthand, it's really, really, really hard behind the grassroots football club. It is.
A lot of work goes on, doesn't there?
Yes.
Yeah, indeed. Ange, your up from yesterday, please.
So my up is also a personal up. So I met a lovely lady in the toilets at halftime. And I forgot to get your name, and I'm so sorry, but I think it was her daughter that said, "Oh, my mum said, is that girl off the podcast?" And just the fact she called me a girl, she's now my new best friend. But she watches every single episode. She doesn't care who's on it. She just loves it. So we love you. And that made me smile. And then I got back to my seat and thought, oh, God, I didn't ask what her name was. So big shout out to whoever you are. I don't know if you ever contribute in the chat, but if you do, then just give us a little thumbs up and then we know who you are. But it was lovely to meet you yesterday. So thank you.
It's really nice, that.
It's what makes this it's all worthwhile. Certainly better than being slated in the live chat every week anyway. So if someone wants to come up to me and no, I'm not going to say that. My up from yesterday's game was I took my nan to the game, and my usual seat is in IL1, so it's in the crazy corner. And my up was that I took my nan and she stood in the crazy corner for a full 90, having plenty of fun, also joining in with those hand gestures down. So yeah, my nan was part of the crazy corner firm yesterday, and she absolutely loved it. So that's my up.
Good on her.
I just came back in time. It took me out again. I'm sick of
I'm getting a bit fed up with this, Brandon.
I'll just read it out for those who are listening, because not everybody watches. So Brandon has said, did anyone see Ben go to the Whopping Willow at halftime? If you don't watch Harry Potter, it's not funny. But I'm Dan's face.
I watch Harry Potter and it's not funny.
It's brilliant. Dan's face is like, I want you up.
I just don't. I'll just smile and nod along. Yeah.
Did your kids not watch Harry Potter?
I don't watch it with them. No, I'll make sure I'm not in the room.
Oh, Dan,
yeah, I've no time for that. Good. Sorry.
Anyway, Brandon, next time you go and see Zach and get your haircut, I'm going to tell him to make you go bald. Me and Brandon share the same barber.
Interesting. Listen, if it's the one I'm thinking of, he does my lad's hair as well, and he does a really good job. Does Zach? If it's the same guy I'm thinking of,
it will be.
in Adlington. Yeah, he does my sons there as well. Not mine, you might imagine, but my lads.
Right, we'll go for downs. Get them in the live chat. Any Harry Potter references, and I'm going to end the live stream. Dan, what is your down from yesterday's game? I mean, Angie's down. I'd be surprised if it's not our internet. I mean, it is down.
Yeah, it is down.
But...
my down is what I wanted to include as well. Just quickly going back to me up. I don't know if it was like this in the entire stadium, but certainly where I was, the fans were great. They never ever stopped backing them, and I think that just shows you if that atmosphere was like it might have been a few weeks ago, where we're getting on the players back for every mistake, that game could have gone differently, definitely. And I think that everyone there who were backing them throughout deserves a shout out, because we've got to make it like that for teams that come to us. We just got to be relentless in our support. So that were really good as well. Going on to me down was we just made it so like not difficult, but it was so much more nervy than it should have been, I think. And I know that I gave them credit earlier, which I stand by. I think that, Hurrihan did a really good job in terms of his subs, but yeah, we were a bit slow to react, and conceding 2 when you're in such a commanding position at half time to make it obviously within 1 goal of dropping 2 points was hopefully a bit of a learning curve for him. I'm very I've seen it in the chat loads tonight, and I'm very, very hesitant to dig players out on here. But I think it's fair to say that Thierry Gale's got to sort his defensive side of game out. He's got to put the shift in. I thought, considering how the game was going at the time, I raised my eyebrows when that substitution came on. Now, I know Blackett Taylor's probably knackered at this point, but seeing when Gale came on, the one thing you expect when they're fresh is to get about the pitch and help your teammate defend. And I just thought he didn't do that enough. And we know what he can be like going forward. He can be a bag of tricks and he's exciting, but he's really got to knuckle down, because he's going to, and I think he will come good eventually. Don't get me wrong; it's his first season in England, and it's not an easy league to come into. But he's just got to show a bit more than that. And I'm sure, Shuey and Furry, we're happy with him at times, and I think Mackie gave him a bit of a bollocking as well. So fingers crossed he gets back onto training ground and knuckles down, because there's definitely a decent player there. Just want to see that effort, because without that, our fans especially, they're going to notice that, and they're going to see right through it. What is Ange doing, honestly? Oh, come on.
It's like we're playing hide and seek.
I know. So yeah, that's my down, really. Conceding those goals and not killing the game off, and Gale's cameo.
Yeah, I think it's pretty difficult to disagree with that. My down was the exact same. To have made what should have been a really comfortable game difficult is concerning, because better teams in this division won't give you as many chances as we had in that first half to go ahead, and will certainly punish you much more relentlessly than Barnsley did in that second half, or at least the start of the second half. That being said, it was a very, very strong showing of character to make sure that we didn't go behind and didn't, give up the points that we'd managed to secure. So, yeah. Ange, are you going to have time to share yours with us?
I swear to God, I'll have literally 2 seconds before it chucks me out again, I think. So are we on my down?
Yes.
So I did catch Dan mentioning Thierry, but I did star the comment earlier for Ed, who kind of did guess that it would be. But it's not even his poor cameo, it's his stinking attitude. Like, everybody has off days and off games and stuff, but it's like he's sulking. And I don't like to call players out, but it's written all over his face, and the way he's holding himself and the effort he's putting it in. And I'm pretty sure I might have put him down as my unexpected sign of the season or something on that pod we do at the start of the season. And I feel let down by him. You need to take a leaf out of John McAtee's book, who's just worked his actual bollocks off to get to be a starter. Doesn't get given to you, especially not when the manager likes you. And I'd had a little rant there because it's really annoyed. He's really annoyed me.
It's valid though, isn't it? It's valid.
Yeah.
You know he's got the ability, but like I say, if your attitude don't match it, it's pointless.
You get nowhere. You'll get nowhere with an attitude like that.
I'm sure Stephen Schumacher's Scouse rant will have been much more volatile.
He wouldn't have understood a word of it, would he, Gail? I don't think. I think here this is the thing, right? So that there might be something in that. You know, he isn't happy that he's been dropped, but any player worth the salt would see that competition and think, right, this is time for me to knuckle down now and win my way back in.
Especially given that Blackett Taylor's here on a loan and Gale's looking to have a permanent future with us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fingers crossed. He sorts it out fast and he gives us a better showing next time.
He's going to have to, because
he's going to have to.
Squad's only so deep and there's only so many you can have on the bench. And at the minute, Sissoko's a better shout because at least he might over the step overs, but at least his attitude's a bit better.
There is no I in team, but there is a U in a certain proverbial word. So
focus.
Yeah, that's one. Attitude, I think, is something that Schumacher has made a lot of references to about this squad, wanting the right kind of players to have the right attitude, and he's referenced countless times the importance of having a strong squad and strong team, and that's the kind of, atmosphere you need to cultivate a promotion-winning team, and everyone has their role to play in that, Gale included. Right then, fan focus time. Obviously, if you've got some things you want us to have a little chat about, then please drop them in the live chat, but we'll play the mid-roll and give you some time to get them in. It's Fanzone, fan focus.
Right, it's fan focus time. We've only got a few in tonight, so please, if anybody wants to get anything off the chest or anything that we've not talked about that you want to discuss while we're on, fire it in and we'll put it to the co-host and we'll have a bit of a natter about it, no problem whatsoever. If you can keep them unrelated to Harry Potter, I'd really appreciate it, but if that is your...
Dan's not loving the chat.
I'm not. But mate, that's just me being.
Hey, mate, if you're not loving it, just tell you what.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So I've got a couple here. The first one that I have got, which I saved, is Stephen Smethurst. I think Dempsey is a player who has been here a while, and despite ups and downs, you've got to love him. Never known a fan who doesn't like him. Love Dalby now. Isn't it interesting that certain players don't always play brilliantly, or they haven't always played brilliantly, but for some reason, and I think I know what the reason is, they are held in such a high esteem by our fans that even if they play poorly, it doesn't matter, because I think this is a relevant point, especially when we've discussed Thierry Gale, because one thing that Dempsey is at his baseline or at his minimum is a grafter. And you can always accept, I think, people having a bad game. And this is like grassroots stuff, isn't it? You say to your kids, I don't care how many mistakes you make, as long as you put the effort in, that's what I want to see. And I think when the professionals, they're paid to play, something that should just be a given isn't always a given with some players. And I think Dempsey, he just epitomises that, doesn't he? He's
a proper professional. He's absolutely professional.
He is. He's a top pro in the sense that you're always going to get that. Whether the quality's there as well at times, it's never going to be there all the time. But you can always appreciate that he's going to do his bit for the team. Ben, what do you think about that with Dempsey?
I think it's a great point, and I think we've touched on it. But it's about attitude and aptitude. I think Dempsey is that example of a player that, might not always get goal contributions every week, but the one thing that you cannot take away from him is that he works hard and he isn't afraid to tire himself out and run himself into the ground for the badge. Some players earn that cult hero status from that. I mean, others, we've talked about it there, it's not always based on quality. It's really difficult to take that away from players like Dempsey when you can see how much they care and how much they give at every single match. I think Dempsey as well carries himself really well. He speaks really well in press conferences. And, I remember, I think it was the pre-season trip to Portugal, he did an interview and he was talking about his time being out on the sideline, but how excited he was to get back and play for the badge. And a lot of players can use that as a buzzword, playing for the badge, without actually really following it through. But I think Dempsey is someone that does that, to a T.
Yeah, completely agree. Fair points, and we love Demps, don't we? Right, the next one, I'm going to sit this one out. However,
To do with Harry Potter?
I don't think it is. But Ben,
no, it is, Dan. It is.
Is it? Right. Okay, shows what I know. Peter Parker, and I know Colin may watch this, and that's not his real name. I know it isn't. It's his username, so that's why I'm saying.
Well, at least give him his full name.
Peter Parker's Pizza Face 6431
Yeah.
is saying, Ben, can you tell me what is the function of a rubber duck?
I can, but I don't know if I want to be honest.
Well, why don't you enlighten me, because I don't have a clue.
Peter Parker's Pizza Face 6431. I can tell you what the function of a rubber duck is, but I don't really want to. And I'm not playing by your silly little games anymore. I've had enough.
I can't even remember who asked it.
It's Arthur Weasley, and he asked it to Harry.
Oh, it's Arthur Weasley. I couldn't remember who'd asked it.
They're having a little chat at the dinner table, and Arthur says to Harry, "Tell me, Harry, what is the function of a rubber duck?" I don't even think he gets an answer, to be fair. So I'd love to give you the quote, but I don't think he gets one. It's a muggle. A muggle. Dan
is very much a muggle.
Yeah, he is.
Danny's full of the muggle category. There's no magic in him whatsoever.
Oh, I've been called plenty worse than that. That's all right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Hey, steady on. Right. The next one is from our Jordan, and he's saying, as a fan base, can we be too quick to write players off without giving them a run of games like we are seeing now with Dalby? What do you think about that?
Absolutely.
Is it just Bolton fans? Because I find it hard to believe every single football club can have as many as we do, surely.
I don't know. I think I wouldn't say it's all football fans. I think some of it is the expectation that's kind of linked with us, and I think because we've had, and if you're of a certain age and you've seen us right at the in the Premier League in Europe, etc. I know we're in a completely different space, but I think some of that expectation, not that we're going to be that good, but I think there is something in that expectation of us. But yeah, I think because of Twitter and that as well, we can all be really reactionary. And I, don't get me wrong, I have been in the past, but I think if you're going to look at the context of like a Sam Dalby, where he's basically got injured in one of his first training sessions and done his hamstring, so he's immediately playing catch up from pre-season when he comes in. He's only getting flits and starts here and there. He's not getting that run of games. And obviously he's built his fitness up, he's built his confidence up, and now he's looking like what we all wanted when we got excited that he were coming in, and we beat off competition from other decent clubs, and maybe Wigan as well. But
I think
yeah, but can't count them. So yeah, I just think it shows sometimes the context is everything, and it's like, are they coming into a team that's doing well? Are they coming into a team that's struggling? I think it all plays a part, doesn't it? But ultimately, it's the hardest thing in football to have patience, especially when you're at a team that is expected to win every game. Like, obviously, we're not going to, but there's not many games where we don't feel like we're going to go into and we have a chance of winning. And I think that plays into it.
it's also, it doesn't help that with what are we now, season 5 in League One,
Yeah.
and everybody is just absolutely desperate to get out of it. We have a massive fan base, so if you compare obviously our fan base to other clubs, you're going to have a larger percentage of idiot also in that fan base, those that will not give people a chance.
Some of them even get jobs on podcasts.
Bolton Twitter is an actual cesspit at times.
It is.
And I think there are some people that are relentless with it, and then you start to doubt yourself. It's like, is it me? Am I not? Am I not seeing something that they are? But we absolutely need to just give over with it. Can we just let folk bed in? Give them a minute.
It's conversations we've had on this podcast since Ian Evatt first came into this football club, and there was that constant rotation of players that would come in January and need to improve us and kick us on for the rest of the season. They'd get to February and people would be like, I don't know why I've signed him, he's crap. And then by the end of the season, people would go, I tell you what, fella's all right, isn't it? Good job we signed him in January because look at what we've done this season. And it's the same story. I mean, Dempsey took us about a season to see the best of him. And we probably
barely saw him, did we, for that first season, really?
No. Exactly. No. And I think there's two sides to it. I think there's a very large portion of our fans that live online that will post things about players that they know is going to get engagement, even if it's not really what they think deep down, because a tweet about someone being crap is much likely to get more likes than it is to say, let's give this lad a chance. I 100%. Think if you went and had a conversation with these people and then actually, sat down and had a chat with them, there probably wouldn't be as many that thought the way that they portray themselves online. I think, we unfortunately live in a world where people are always online and very keen to post things on Twitter to get a couple of likes.
We certainly are our own worst enemies, though, at times, and we does not help with that. Atmosphere was great yesterday. It was really good. It was really good, and it made my day more enjoyable. I can't all this booing at 0-0 at half time. Get a grip. What is that? Honestly, God.
Yeah, it's almost like an entitlement in it, and I get the frustration. Don't get me wrong, but nobody, it's not like we're a Birmingham and we're spending millions and millions of pounds and buying league kind of thing. But nobody's got the given right to
not even like even Huddersfield level of spending.
Exactly.
We are spending within our means.
Yeah,
we've learnt lessons, or the board have learnt lessons from our predecessors. So
But to be fair, on that, the message is obviously it's been from Fergal and Shuey, and I know we've said our piece, etc. And a lot of people on Twitter, the positive ones, they've been saying how important it is as well. And the message seems to have hit home. So let's hope that continues, and it'll put us in good stead for the home games, definitely. The next one is from Rob T. And what Rob wants to know is, if Sheehan leaves and Barnsley were to go down, can you see us making a move for Connell? Is that perhaps his thinking behind the respectful celebration? I think that's a weird one, right? Because did he play for us in the first team? Like, maybe
he did have a couple of games.
Not many. Yeah.
And I feel like over the years, there's been a bit of needle, hasn't there? I remember Ever having a bit of a do with him. And then since then, maybe it's because of like the links to us and stuff like that, because they've never really fully gone away. Maybe for him, he'd like to come to us. I don't know. My only thing with that is, and I love him as a footballer. I think he's class. But I don't know how comfortable I'd be, because I really like Abraham. The idea of two left-footed midfielders, if Sheehan was to go, just makes me feel a bit weird. I just don't know how I could see that on a pitch, two left footers. I'm sure it does work for some teams, but for me, I'm not quite sure about that one. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? What do you think about that?
I mean, sorry, Ben.
It's all right. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think potentially the respectful celebration was the fact it took a massive deflection and he wasn't really.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. It's like, oh, well, it went in. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think people, we look into this, if we do this as well, we look into things like massively.
To be fair, he did come around at the end of the game and clap the home fans.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something in him in recent years that's kind of
But
something's happened that's
2
rekindled.
3 years in the making. This is every fucking time we play Barnsley. It's Lincoln Connell's coming home, and it's like, if we get promoted, do we think he's championship level?
I
That's
mean,
a fair point.
At 24, I'd be surprised if he's not at least got the chance of making it there. He is a very, very good footballer.
He is a good one.
I'm amazed he's still at Barnsley, to be completely honest with you. But yeah,
two sides to the coin, weren't there? You had Connell apologising, and you had Phillips cupping his ear to the crowd when they were still 3-2 down. I thought that was quite amusing. That I don't know if he knew what score it were, but yeah, it's hopefully Sheehan doesn't leave because he's just so good for us, isn't he? But it might be a reality one day. Phil Revel wants to know, massive game. Well, he's saying, massive game Saturday, got to win, make a statement. Physically and mentally, we have to show up and win the game, end of. Now, obviously, this is a massive game for us. And they're in really good form. What kind of game do you think it's going to be? And what do you think? I know it's more of a preview show question, but what do you think of our chances going into that one?
It's tough, isn't it? Because our away form has been something of a sticking point, and Lincoln's home form this season has been absolutely exceptional. I think they've only lost one at home this season, the same as us. But we've hit form at the right time to go in and have a football match, a real contest with what is undoubtedly a very good football team at this level. So it's difficult to say. I cannot even begin to think about score predictions or anything in terms of the outcome of the match. All I hope is that we go there and we put in a performance like we saw against Barnsley in that first half. If we can go and play on the front foot and not be afraid to, I'm sure the fans will be excellent, but not be afraid to put ourselves about. And that work rate and that effort, I think, is a non-negotiable now. That has to be the standard every single match when we get to the business end of the season. Well, throughout the whole season, but especially now. So I think that's the minimum.
Yeah, Ange, what are your views on that?
I am going to put our previous away record where it belongs and in the past. Mm-hmm. And we've got some shiny new players that are all full of energy and driving forward and stuff. And I think it'll be a cagey affair. I think it'll be a really edgy, cagey. The crowd will be on the... I'm already dreading it. I'm like dreading it, but excited. It's weird. It's a weird feeling I've got about it.
Yeah.
I'm going yes, because if we win, it'll be amazing. I'm absolutely petrified if we lose. Also yes, because I think that's the end of our automatic dream. Yeah. But I absolutely think those new boys potentially are the difference here. I think Blackett Taylor has got the potential to rip them apart on that side. So I am kind of weirdly looking forward. You know, like when you got like a bit of toothache and you press it or whatever, and it's like that weird pain that's almost a little bit addictive. Do you know what I mean? It's like I kind of wish it was tomorrow, but yeah, I think it'll be. We travel well as a fan base, so the away support will be brilliant. We know that.
Yeah,
and I think we could maybe be the difference that gets them over that line.
Yeah, I'm expecting it. If you watch the Stevenage game, and it was just horrible, and just all about doing the basics, and I think it's just going to be a right scrap. But saying that, I don't think we should be going there fearing them. I think we've got enough about us to go and give anyone a game in this league. So I don't think it's going to be the best watch. But definitely think
I don't care, do you?
Not at all. Not at all. No. I mean, I'd take a draw if I'm being honest, but we really do need to win it, I suppose. In like you said, to keep in touch with autos. Saying that, teams can fall off at any point, can't they? So I'd be surprised if they maintain what they've done.
I mean, they deserve it. Hats off to them, round of applause and all that.
Of course they do.
Because
they do.
wow. But
yeah, absolutely they do. But personally, I think before we played Bradford, when me and Cole were chatting to the around the grounds guy, we were saying I just didn't feel like they had the squad to go the entire season, and they're obviously having a bit of a wobble now. And maybe we'll see that hopefully at Lincoln as well to give us a chance. But yeah, confident going into it. So we'll back them and hopefully they turn up and do the business. That is going to be your lot for Fan Focus. So thanks for everyone who got their comments and questions in. Really appreciate it. It's what makes us tick, and it's what we love, enjoy talking about. So thank you very much. Obviously, everyone's tuned in with great chat tonight. So yeah, that's your lot for Fan Focus.
Just as Peter Pan comes out with another absolute gem of a Harry Potter reference.
I'll throw it. Don't have a clue what you're on about, mate. But let's have a look.
For those of you listening back on Spotify, I've got the pleasure of reading this out for you. Peter Parker's Pizza Face 6431, who's been on fine form this evening, much to my delight, has said Ben's Passiona's charm would be a cheese and jalapeno Carl's pasty. Only that can give us the hope of defeating the Lincoln City Death Eaters. Go get them, Ben.
There you go.
On that note, that is the end of this evening's episode. If you want to tune in for our double header preview, which will be Lincoln and Reading all in one, we'll be joined, of course, by Jake Tong and hopefully Elm Park Royals, who are our go-to Reading guest. Then if you tune in on Thursday at 8 p.m, you'll be able to see me and Nathan dissecting that one. Please leave all your Harry Potter references in the Barnsley post-match show. And until the next time, you've been watching the Fanzone podcast. Take care, and we will see you all very, very soon. Whilst I'm finishing, you have all been excellent in the live chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. Your commitment to turning up every week is fantastic. So thank you all very much for watching.
Down there, boys.